Hi, I'm Carol Kershaw, co-director of the Milton Erickson Institute and co-author with my husband of the new book, Brain Change Therapy, Clinical Interventions for Self-Transformation.
I'm Bill Wade. I'm also co-director of the Milton Erickson Institute. I'm a psychotherapist and co-author of the book, Brain Change Therapy, Clinical Interventions for Self-Transformation.
And we're here with our executive assistant, Ann Bird, who's going to be helping us talk to you about our exciting upcoming brand new seminar in April.
I'm happy to be here with both of you today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ann.
Why don't we start, before we get into the details of the seminar, with a little bit of background on the both of you.
Well, I'm a psychologist and have been actually in practice with Bill for 30 years, and we discovered over the years of practice, around the 10th year we were in practice, that it was very fantastic to include biofeedback and neurofeedback in our practice. And personally and professionally, this has totally changed the view that we have of psychotherapy.
And I am a licensed professional counselor, licensed marriage and family therapist, in practice with Carol for the last 30 years, and have been involved very much in mindfulness, in meditation, teaching meditation to not only my clients but others, also involved with neurofeedback and biofeedback and clinical hypnosis. And we've become aware over the last 20 years how important the notion of neuroplasticity is, how actually pliable the brain is.
That's right.
And the brain is capable of making far more changes that we've ever thought before.
That's right.
Okay, let's get into some of the details of the seminar. Let's talk about, first of all, who is the seminar for, and then what exactly is the seminar about?
Well, the seminar is for clinicians, psychologists, licensed professional counselors, licensed marriage and family therapists. And by the way, this course has been nationally approved for CEU, so for anyone who's out of state who'd like to come, your CEUs are approved, so feel free to give us a call about that. But the course is going to cover some very cutting-edge material. And Bill, maybe you could just tell them what the title is of the class.
The title is Strategic Neurocoaching for Trauma, 7 Brain Change Tools for Activating the Optimal Mind. And what this course really has as its foundation is neuroscience, that all the information that has been coming out in the last 20 years or so about how the brain operates and how the brain's state, if you will, precedes everything that we think or that we do. And this course is designed to help clinicians communicate more effectively and communicate in such a way that when you talk with your client, when you listen to your client, the things that you say and that you do in interaction will help your client change brain function, and in some cases actually brain structure.
That's right.
So last but not least, I want to mention that this course is in Houston. And what are the benefits that someone coming to this course is going to walk away with?
Well, first of all, you're going to be able to communicate more clearly with your client in a way that not only is empathic, not only in a way that builds rapport, but builds upon that rapport so that when you interact with your client, giving suggestions, whatever, that you really are talking not only just to the client, but also to the client's mind or brain in such a way that facilitates brain change, both in terms of brain activity and in terms of brain structure, so that when you communicate more effectively, your client is able to make changes. And so you're going to be more effective in helping your client achieve the goals that they come into therapy with.
Well, what we discovered is that what keeps people from moving into their optimal mental states really has to do with trauma, whether it's just a small trauma, a life shock we call that, or large traumas that have remained at the unconscious level. And so Bill and I delved into the neuroscience literature since we wrote our book. We continued to do that research and discovered, after really thousands of hours of research, these 7 brain change tools that we're going to teach clinicians. And so we're really going to be teaching you the newest strategies and methods that are available right now. This is the most comprehensive course that Bill and I have done so far, and we think you'll find it very, very helpful. In addition, if you sign up for the early date, February 15th, you will be receiving a downloadable manual for one of the tools that we'll be talking about called hypnotic bilateral stimulation. And you're probably familiar with EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. We're going to be teaching a much simpler way of doing that can be very, very effective, that has some hypnotic components to it. This manual was really constructed first for the National University of Singapore, and so we'd be happy to share this with you because we think you'll find it really interesting.
Can you imagine having somebody in your office who's stuck at a particular feeling or having particular memories of trauma or just a general sense of hopelessness or angst or anxiety, and in some fairly simple techniques, help that person move from a 7, 8, or 9, maybe even a 10 on a unit of disturbance, subjective unit of disturbance scale, and come down to sometimes a 1 or a 0. And they can walk away being able to do these exercises themselves without necessarily having to have a therapist do that with them.
That's right. We've had a couple of clients over the past few years say to us, gosh, I thought I had to delve into all of my family of origin background and really, spend years and years getting these things cleared up. Are you sure? And we said, do you feel better? I feel absolutely calm. I said, well, let's check you in a few weeks and see how it goes. And they would come back and say, I feel absolutely calm and like this is lifted and it's no longer troubling me. So this is a very powerful tool, one of 7 that we'll be discussing.
And it's more than placebo. The neuroscientific information, the studies, have shown that bilateral stimulation in a number of ways actually makes changes in blood flow in the brain as well as electrical activity. So this is more than just a sleight of hand, no pun intended. This is something that actually has a physiological basis to it.
So I want to mention where you can sign up for this seminar. And again, there is a discount for registering by February 15th. And you can go to one of their 2 websites. The first one is www.mhehouston.com. The other website that you can also register on is drscarolandbill.com. That's DRS, carolandbill.com.
And we hope to see you at our workshop on the last weekend in April.